Overwhelmingly, all people of all political spectrums think big corporations have too much power. Make them the enemy, rip them apart. Economic chaos. Because if there's economic chaos, older people with higher salaries have to get cut. Here is what I think is the only path forward for Republicans. They need to immediately have an offsite, powwow, get the leaders together, maybe bring in like the Project 2025 people and the Heritage Foundation folks, and just have a war game session. If it was private, that would probably be better. And they need to come up with a new contract for America. And the reason that that contract of America was effective was that people actually thought that Congress was going to carry through with it, and it did. And so it gave the Republicans a massive win. And Republicans have to somehow convince America that they mean it and they're willing to take aggressive and brutal action to deliver for the voters this contract for America. Now, is it going to be everything the voters want out of the MAGA agenda? No, I don't think that that's possible. But it needs to be believable for the next Congress. It needs to be enough to sell that in the 120th Congress, the Republicans are going to actually be able to get things done. Now, here's the kicker. Now, they have to get at least 5 of those things done between now and November of 2026. That's the hard part. Now, maybe they could get it done in reconciliation, but I don't know if the Democrats are going to let them get out of the shutdown. And I think it might drag on at this point because the Republicans are taking blame. And so maybe the Republicans will get to the place where they finally decide to use the nuclear option. But I think there's going to be a lot of pressure maybe to get to those swing voters and make sure the Republicans don't have them. So they can't use the nuclear option. Maybe the Democrats will save America and come back and say, you know what? We want our people to get SNAP. And so for America, we'll end the shutdown. But that would just put Republicans back in a place where they can use reconciliation again. So it's like a Mexican standoff. And I don't think they're going to get out of this without applying major pressure. So they need to deliver 5 of those things before 2026 on top of arresting everybody, on top of kicking out every illegal alien. And they have to promise to codify Trump executive orders. All of them. And if they can't beg, borrow, or steal the votes necessary to do this, we are going to be governed by democratic socialists. That's just the way it's going to work. The Democrat Party is happy with the path forward. It's economic populism by socialism, focused actually on the needs of the voters. They are going to deliver for the American people. They're going to destroy the dollar doing it, but they are going to actually do this. And Republicans have no response. Now, that's not it. There's more. They need at least $500 million, at least, probably out of new donors, probably out of some of these tech bros, probably out of people who maybe haven't been donors, but basically not Charles Koch, to go into building a new vetting strategy and get out the vote infrastructure, meaning one centralized organization that's not the RNC, it's not the NRCC, it's not Big Dog Strategies, it's something that is a nonprofit or whatever, a PAC, but that is run by serious non-Washington, D.C. people. They need somebody that can rapidly scale this. It needs to be built yesterday. It needs people like me doing polling for it, figuring out the right messaging, getting the right candidates, vetting, training, and seeding candidates, because the Republican Party doesn't do this. If your traditional structure is what you rely on, then the billionaires decide who runs. That's the way it works. If you're a MAGA candidate, they say, well, what money do you have? Oh, no money? Well, guess what? This guy's got money and he's going to run. And if that guy doesn't have money, they'll tell the NRCC, this guy's solid. And then NRCC gives that guy money. It needs to be run by not run by existing consulting class scumbags. It shouldn't have any of those people on the staff at all, because they're interested in spending a lot of money expensing big dinners and running massive direct mail programs just to like get their buddy a whole big vendor deal and then get the kickbacks. And how do you know it's a real CEO? Again, somebody that's scaled things, somebody that can make objective decisions, doesn't need to be a person who knows politics. For God's sake, you need to have better messaging than just Fox News. There needs to be a constant internet circuit. Carolyn Levitt putting out stuff every day to the new press. That's great. You got to get Trump. You got to get Vance, get Barron, get whoever you need to get. on podcasts so they can answer these questions. So Trump can go light people up and they can control this message, talk people off the cliff. People are on the cliff right now. I also think Donald Trump should probably do more America addresses. You think you're getting the blame right now for the Democrats? Come out and tell America on prime time. Tell Joe Rogan. Like, why not? Just do it. This is the trend. Just do things. I think it would be better. The more you act like Caesar, the better your results are going to be. And if you didn't take the hint, you need to ditch the donor interest immediately and make this all very clearly economic populism. It has to be very clear contrast to leftist redistributionism. He should be working with the states. The red states need to be passing things that align with the agenda of this new organization. This organization is what controls America first. It says, you know what, Republicans, you had 10 years to figure it out. And we can tell you threw your tantrum over Israel. We can tell that you don't have the right interests at heart. And so we are starting over. We're building this new thing. I'm not saying build a new party. I'm saying build a new organ that can steer the existing party. Everybody in the Republican establishment should fear this organization because this organization will come after every scumbag that doesn't toe the line. It's the only way it's going to work. And it needs the force of God behind it. I hope that JD Vance can do this with maybe some of the tech bro money, but they have to understand that they are not buying H-1Bs. I think antitrust is probably one of the best ways you can do this. I just don't see how America survives with an Amazon that uses robots to pack and ship boxes. I just don't. And so they needed to brutally come after the companies. And this is the way capitalism is supposed to work. You're supposed to have an independent government that enforces antitrust laws, that looks out for the voter, not one that's in bed with all of the corporations. And so we have polling that shows that overwhelmingly, it's coming out soon, overwhelmingly all people of all political spectrums think big corporations have too much power. Make them the enemy, rip them apart. Economic chaos. Because if there's economic chaos, older people with higher salaries have to get cut. They hire Zoomers. Oh, well, they're going to start using generative AI. Ban AI. I don't know what to tell you. There's no easy answers. We're at the end of everything where there's scarcity. And until we can fire up the engine, you have to have hard decisions like this. Volcker raised the interest rates 20 points. That's what they were willing to do in order to fix things. We've done nothing like that. We won't even fire the guy that's standing in the way of obviously there needs to be an exponential arrest rate increase because I'm starting to think even me that the DOJ has been bought off. And you'll hear things like, oh, well, it takes a long time to build a case. That's not the point. It's okay to me if these people don't go to jail, as long as you indict them. Because if a scumbag judge throws out the case, then that increases the anger at bad judges. People will say, look at the Republican Party. They're trying to do something for me. And that judge is the enemy. And that's not good. And you get the evidence out. People understand how bad the people leading them are. And they say, look at Republicans. They will not tolerate corruption in the government. They're willing to try to take a stand for me, try to throw this person in jail, but the system's broken. That's called accelerationism. And the reason the Republican Party doesn't do it, because they're not really interested in you and your demands for accountability, because most of these people are probably corrupt. That's the only conclusion I can draw. But the idea is to get the optics that at least Trump is arresting people, because everything people are saying now is the arrests aren't happening fast enough. And so I'm sorry, Pam Bondi might be afraid of getting yelled at for building a bad case. Arrest a new person every day between now and November 2026. And I guarantee you, people won't even be following the cases. Boom. Just do it. You know what I mean? Strzok, just get that guy. McCabe, get these people. Brennan, you know what I mean? Brennan's probably already in a non-extradition country. Fine. Indict him. Have a court with an empty, strip him of his citizen. Do something. Just do it. So I think antitrust is huge. I think arrests or we're going to be socialist. I don't know. Like, there's no easy answer. You could tell me I'm histrionic, but I think you'll all agree with me that it's this bad.